This episode of the Wayang Crew Podcast is brought to you by Times Cineplex. Hey guys, it's Kev.
What's up? This is Naz.
I am Tibby.
This is Del.
And y'all know who this is.
And we are
the Wayang Crew.
Oh yeah.
Hey, welcome back everyone to another episode of the Wayang Crew Podcast.
Woo-hoo!
That's right, we're all back this week for another episode of your favorite podcast where we talk about all things movies, especially movies that are playing here in Brunei, Darussalam. I'm your host as usual, Kev, and up next, it's my co-host, it's Del.
Hello.
Yo.
I had a very good sleep last night.
That's good to know.
Because the last few days I have not slept well.
Because?
Stress.
Or was it more fuse tripping in your house?
Fuse tripping in my house? No. It was just work.
Okay, it's a bit hot today, isn't it?
Not as hot as the few days ago.
Okay. Right. I guess
I feel like Del has to argue against everything.
Yeah. He just can't go, yeah.
I can't agree to something that is not the fuse breaking.
You could.
All right, up next, it's our other co-host of the podcast. It's Kai.
Sup, guys? How's it going? Oh, wow.
Uh-oh.
Third week in a row.
Y'all
I think
know
you should just
who this was.
lose it.
Yeah. How are you?
Depressed now. Okay, just getting ready for Hari Raya.
Oh,
so
yeah.
a lot of last minute shopping and fixing up the house and stuff.
That's coming up in less than a week for our listeners here in Brunei and in the region. And I think we should, take this chance to wish our listeners Selamat Hari Raya.
Selamat Hari Raya, Mahasara dan Batin. If anybody at the Wayang Crew has ever offended you, check your privilege. I'm kidding. We didn't mean it.
I don't know.
Enjoy your Raya break, folks.
All right. And finally, it's our other co-host of the Wayang Crew. She's back. Please welcome Nikkei.
Hello. I'll definitely be checking my privilege.
I'm never going to live this down.
I know. Oh well. This week we're talking about Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, which is a movie that myself and Kai were kind of
super excited
about, but we'll talk more about that later on in the show on our full review. But first, let's get to the first bit of the show. As usual, it's movie news. And kicking off this week, we're going to have to talk about this because we were talking about this off the air. And it's about the Kelly Marie Tran controversy that's been going on social media. And now she's off Instagram. She's deleted all her photos because of all the hate that's been thrown up against her. And it's a shame to see, really.
It really is. I mean, I wasn't a huge fan of The Last Jedi.
Yes.
And I thought there were a lot of characters that I didn't really particularly think were needed in the plot. And I think Admiral Holdo, Rose Tico, obviously there'll be stories that further explore them and they'll make their place in the film more important. But I cannot imagine for the life of me spending days and hours and precious time attacking someone because they were doing their job.
And it seems like it's a coordinated attack.
It really was.
It really does. I mean, even though we have director Rian Johnson jumping in and saying, it's nice to see that you guys have finally driven her off in social media, although not really putting his foot down because, he doesn't want to piss off the fan base, I guess. And more recently, we had Mark Hamill himself, Luke Skywalker, I think coming to the aid of Kelly Marie Tran by posting up an Instagram post of him and her in a hug saying, get a life, nerds, hashtag. Yeah. And do you guys have anything else to say about this?
I don't know. It's just, how whenever you post something on Instagram and then you get a comment, and then you open your notification and somebody's saying get 100 followers or earn quick money or stuff like that. You know how annoying that can be to delete and moderate? So I can imagine being an actor or a young actor or actress who just got their break and having to deal with that thousands of times every time you post a picture. It's so frustrating. And this is also, I think, sort of the same reason why Daisy Ridley left Instagram 2 years ago, because of the constant people just being annoying.
Yeah, you're not right.
I think it's the same,
and this and that.
Yeah, it's probably the same group of people who has been doing this. And I really don't understand what's the why some people have the kind of time and energy to be so hateful and vengeful when it's just a piece of entertainment. If you can't accept it, then just let it go.
What's the end goal?
Yeah.
Well, what are they hoping is gonna happen? Like, are they hoping like Lucasfilm and Disney would uncanonize Last Jedi? No, it's
not never gonna happen.
It's never gonna happen.
They are fighting a losing battle, aren't they?
Yeah.
But yet they think that with enough of these online presence, maybe they can change Lucasfilm.
That's so pathetic.
Because even like I am not that big of a fan of The Last Jedi, and I know some of you are not as well. But I would want to have Rian Johnson now to do that trilogy first, just to be spiteful of these to this group, just to
I
rub
know
it in
what
their
you mean.
face. Even though,
and there's a Facebook screenshot that's going around saying, "I'm super proud I drove Kelly Marie Tran off Instagram," and stuff like that. I'm like, what kind of a psychopath do you have to be to drive a human being off a social media platform, just traumatize a human being enough because your action figure adaptation movie didn't live up to your expectations?
And let's not forget that the threats and the bad energy that's being thrown on her. It's not just about being in the movie. It's her race.
The racism is really a step too far.
Yeah, it's her physicality. You're not right to be in a Star Wars movie. Yada yada. I mean, there is no end to this because these people will always be around.
And these are the same group of people who keep going like, "Oh, bring back the EU." It's like, yo, it's dead. Stop trying to bring it back.
This is what I label this group as a terrorist, and they will not win because Lucasfilm will not give in to them. But what I want to see now is Lucasfilm come out and officially say, we do not want this as our fans. We do not want this group anywhere near our movies or our theaters. They are banned from going into our movies, because, buying our Blu-rays.
They don't represent the values that,
Not representing the values, but why do these people even have to exist when they are causing mayhem and destruction? They just should not be anywhere near any form of entertainment because they can't accept something that doesn't live up to their imagination.
Yeah. I mean, we've all heard of keyboard warriors. These
guys really are the keyboard masters.
The keyboard fundamentalists, maybe, more to the extreme.
It's disgusting.
Yeah. If you don't know what we're talking about, just do a quick Google search and you'll get caught up and you'll see how ugly this has gotten. Anyway, let's start off with more news that we got this week in terms of Hollywood. Did you guys check out the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse trailer?
Yeah.
First full trailer. I love it.
Looks really interesting.
I like the animation style. I like how, it looks like it's lifted straight off a comic book panel.
Yep.
Things in the background or the foreground seem to be out of focus, and they force your shift onto a certain thing.
On certain scenes with an action sequence, it kind of looks like there's more colors suddenly, and then it's like jumping off from a comic book page.
Like for one frame, like the colors pop and it's like orange or green or something.
Plus also, I don't know, did they just put in like a 3D version of the scene and not put it back into 2D to show us the trailer? Because it's like the blue and the red and the green kind of is like those 3D movies that uses these primary colors to make the 3D effect.
But I think that's more sort of like the point of view of the lead character. Like he's looking at the TV and then everything around him is just sort of out of focus. He's looking at that. And they took a different approach to it.
It's like as if you're watching a motion comic. Like the comic pages are moving, the panels are moving. That's what I felt when I saw it. And it's got a stellar voice cast.
Yeah, they've got a stellar voice cast. I mean, I'm not sure, I don't have it in front of me, but we do see in this trailer as well, like an older Peter Parker.
Yeah.
His voice is a bit distracting.
His voice is the voice of that guy from New Girl.
Yeah, that's why.
Or the Mummy.
The Mummy, the best friend in the Mummy. Spider-Gwen makes an appearance in this right at the end of the trailer. And I mean, I'm looking forward to it. It's coming out end of this year, December 2018. We had like a full year to wait for this movie because they announced it last December. But, 6 more months to go.
Yep. Wow, if you put it that way.
Yeah.
We also got a trailer for Wreck-It Ralph 2.
Oh, yeah.
Ralph breaks the internet. I liked it, but I have my fears. I mean, it looked like the Emoji Movie.
Yes,
really?
Yeah. But
I felt like this was Disney advertising Disney.
Yeah.
Star Wars, princesses, Marvel.
Like Vanellope asked the I don't know, librarian, what's the craziest or something, the place that...
Knows More.
Huh?
Knows More.
Knows More is the
internet website where you want to get information.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I don't know.
Like the search bar.
Knows More.
She asked like, what's the craziest place that you can introduce to me? And straight away we go to Disney. I don't know if that is... Sure, they are trying to sell Disney because it's a Disney property, but I don't know if Disney is the craziest place to be.
This is like the convergence of all the Disney properties, because we got like a shot of like the Millennium Falcon, Stormtroopers. We saw Iron Man fly by the screen, and you heard the pulses.
There's Marvel characters, there's Star Wars characters,
and then there's the princesses at the end.
Which was the best part of the trailer.
I guess
and
so.
I could be wrong, but I saw a post saying they're all voiced by the original.
Original.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Original voice.
So Kristen Bell and everyone's in this?
Yes.
Yeah.
All of them?
Mandy Moore.
The first trailer, the teaser trailer that came out like months ago, it also finished with a very funny scene at the end. So even though the beginning of the trailer leading up to that final scene, they are just kind of mediocre. But I remember also the first movie, those trailers, they didn't do much in terms of getting me excited. But the movie itself became really, really good. So maybe it's the same kind of effect. Because like I said, the ending of each trailer is still very good. And I laughed a lot watching those.
Well, we can only wait and see. I mean, part of the first movie that I really remember was that sort of like, it was kind of like a support group meeting.
For the villains.
And you had King Koopa, you had Zangief, and all these video game characters. So that stood out for me. I didn't see any of that here, but it was just Disney properties in there. We'll just have to wait and see, I guess.
Well, I don't think that all these Disney characters will play a big part. There's going to be a really small part, like in the first one, because they paid for the rights for like Street Fighters and all that so much, and then they only have like a few seconds of time, and the rest is really about Raph and Princess Penelope. So I think this one will probably be the same. They just show like this character that we all know that's going to be in this movie, and we will be looking so forward for it, or people who are fan of these princesses or Star Wars who want to watch it because of that, but they're just going to be like a few seconds of screen time with it. That's what I think it is.
Let's hope. I mean, whatever the case, when they're on screen, I'm sure we're going to enjoy it at least. And go,
That's how they get you.
That's how they get you.
That's how they get you.
Pop culture references.
Pop culture. Up next, the Lego Movie 2. The second part gets a trailer, and it seemed a bit sort of Mad Max-ish in the beginning.
Yeah.
I'm confused, this one.
You're confused?
Yeah. Like, how did we end up with everything being awesome to Mad Max? What happened? Like, because
at the end of the first movie, the father, played by Will Ferrell, lets the son play with the Lego.
And the daughter came in.
That was right at the end. Because we're from planet Duplo.
So there's no tie into that one, I think. And this one just jumped right into, the trailer at least just jumped right into a Mad Max kind of dystopia world. Yeah. So I am a bit thrown off, and I don't really recognize the characters anymore. So I'm a bit confused. But let's see. Let's wait for the next trailer.
Yeah. Everyone's back in this. Chris Pratt's back in it. Elizabeth Banks is in it.
Will Arnett's back.
Will Arnett's back. He's making an appearance. I don't know how this universe works anymore.
No, neither do I.
Because we have a solo Lego Batman film, and I don't know if that's part of this.
And there's a Ninjago movie as well.
Yes, which was bad. Anyway, let's hope this next movie is not as bad. How to Train Your Dragon 3. I had a trailer come out, and I thought it was, a good sort of first trailer. We're reintroduced back to the characters that we love. Toothless, and, he's the Night Fury. And now there's a white Night Fury.
It's a Light Fury.
Light Fury. Apparently she can teleport.
No. Night Fury can teleport too, but it's not teleporting. It is so fast that it feels like it's teleporting. It flies so fast, like zoop zoop, like it feels like teleporting.
Okay, but then we saw in this trailer the Light Fury did that fire thing, and then she disappeared.
Yeah,
and I was like, okay, that's
it's
kind of
cool. Ninja move.
It's a ninja move.
I've never seen How to Train Your Dragon.
What?
Any of it?
Neither.
Wow.
Why?
I don't know that.
Oh no.
Because he's cool like that.
I don't know.
Nothing to do with that. Because I think when the first movie came out, I'm like, you can never train a dragon.
I'm excited for this because I believe that this franchise has a lot of heart in it. Like
that's what I was told.
You feel for the characters.
Yeah. I love the first movie. it's one of like my top animated movies of all time. But it's the second one that kind of dropped the ball. I really don't like the direction that they took with it. So going into this third one, I don't know how to feel about it because I'm still skeptical and the way that the second one ended, I didn't like it. And then going into this third one, we'll have to see. We'll have to see.
Okay, he's older now. He's got a beard.
No, but that's only one scene though. I don't know what's going on.
Captain America now.
Yeah. It's Captain America.
Everyone's sort of milking this. Here's something that I hope has a lot of heart when it comes out later this year. The Bumblebee movie. Now, we got to see the first trailer for this movie. And we've all universally panned the Transformers franchise so far. On this podcast. Especially the 5 Michael Bay ones that have come out before this.
Michael Bay ones.
Because we like the first one.
The first one's good.
You're right. Sorry about that. We like the first one, so it's 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's 4 movies. But this movie looks good.
It actually does.
Bumblebee, the Bumblebee movie that we just got a trailer this week. Look, I'm excited. I'm actually excited because it tugs on my kid heartstrings.
Yeah.
Like, that's what Bumblebee was in the cartoon. And who's that plane? It's the same colors as Starscream. Wow.
No, the Bumblebee, the robot design looks too much like Michael Bay's.
Yeah, but I think what Kev's trying to say is that aesthetically, you could believe that if the 80s cartoon was made into a film, this would be it.
I think, I don't know, I'm just, my mind's still stuck on that Michael Bay version of Bumblebee, and I don't like it because the 80s cartoon version, Bumblebee speaks. Yeah. This one, he doesn't speak again, and he looks exactly like the robot from Michael Bay.
I guess there's a continuation there, but I like the fact that he's a Volkswagen, and then he's more covered up. There's less parts showing,
And he literally turned his head into a bee.
Yeah, and he's got the bee cover.
The transformations don't look as complex, which is something that you look at first, and then you're like, wow, that's so cool. And then you see more and more of it, you're like, I don't know what's going on. Like, I can't focus on anything.
Right. The transforming part in the 80s is so simple though.
Yeah, really simple.
I thought this movie was going the simplistic way, but obviously it's not. I'm disappointed.
But the sound was there, the original transformation sound.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't know. I think Kevin and I.
We
got suckered in. I'm in.
Because even the poster, right? The first time it was the poster that came out first, and it was Steinfeld.
Yeah, Haley Steinfeld
Standing beside Bumblebee, and it's their backs that you see. I thought for a second, why is the same Bumblebee appearing in this this movie that's supposed to take place like
in the 80s? Yeah.
So I was thrown off again just by looking at the poster, and then I realized that okay, he does transform into a Volkswagen, which is good. But I'm excited about Starscream. That one I'm excited about. Yeah, that looks like Starscream.
We saw like all 5 frames of it.
Yeah,
And in this trailer, it seemed like they had to remind the audience that this takes place in the 80s because there are cassette tapes here.
Yeah.
And lo and behold,
I want to see Soundwave.
Soundwave?
I would love to see Soundwave.
As a cassette tape?
The hi-fi player releasing cassette tapes? Yes.
JVC.
Yes.
All right, we also got a trailer for this movie starring Chris Hemsworth. It's called Bad Times at the El Royale. Apparently, it's a cult movie.
It's a 70s movie, right?
It looks interesting.
It looks interesting. It's about this hotel called the El Royale, which is on the state lines of California and Nevada.
Is it 70s?
I don't know.
It doesn't look. It looks modern.
Like, aesthetically, it looks kind of 70s, I guess.
Maybe it's another case of La La Land.
You got John Hamm in there. You got Jeff Bridges.
Yeah, Jeff Bridges, the priest.
But in the trailer, he says outright, "I'm not really a priest."
Yeah, he came in as a priest, and then after that, we found out that his character is not a priest in the trailer.
What I'm most excited for is Drew Goddard, who directed Cabin in the Woods, and that turned out to be a really nice and fun and weird sci-fi movie. So this one, it looks weird as well, and it's got that Drew Goddard's kind of feel, which excites me.
Okay,
yeah.
This next movie excite anyone? We got a trailer for the upcoming Halloween movie.
I'm confused at the chronology of the Halloween story now. I've watched about 9 of them.
Okay.
This is supposed to
watch Rob Zombie, I just watched John Carpenter's.
Actually, I stopped watching after Rob Zombie's one came out. Because, like, Rob Zombie's one in 2009 when it came out, he was like, no, this is the proper sequel to Halloween. And then they're like, no, this is the
Rob Zombie make an origin for Michael Myers. He's the first one. He create, like, how Michael Myers became the Halloween mask.
It's so confusing.
Jamie Lee Curtis is back.
Yeah, she is.
She got old.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's really old. But I mean, that's how people age. But I found the trailer interesting.
Yeah.
I found it also a bit refreshing. It's not like a slasher, a simple slasher movie. It's because Jamie Lee Curtis now is like hunting down Michael Myers. So that kind of angle interests me a little bit more than just a straight up slasher film.
She had a very, come at me bro kind of
attitude.
So.
She's wanting him to get out of jail just to hunt him down.
What? Bring it!
Yeah.
We also got a trailer for Peter Jackson's Mortal Engines. Now, this was a highly anticipated movie of Zainal's. Unfortunately, he's not here to defend himself. So we are going to take this whole trailer apart. It looks... I don't know what this is.
I don't even know anymore. I saw the teaser a few months ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is this YA rubbish? And then I saw Peter Jackson's name. I'm like, oh God. And then this one came out. I watched 30 seconds. I couldn't sit through it.
He's not directing it.
No. But I feel it's still like, why attach his name to it? Because this doesn't look good.
The studio attached his name to it.
It's not, I don't know what to make of it.
No?
Yeah.
Nah.
So this is definite no from us.
Nah.
I will watch it just to see how it is.
And just to spite Zainal.
We should get Zainal's thoughts on this, but anyway. This trailer just dropped today, and you guys, I hope you check this out today. It's the first full trailer, not a teaser, of the upcoming Predator movie.
Yeah, I watched that.
What did you think of it? I thought it was okay.
It was okay.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about the Predator or Alien franchise. Until the monster pops up, I'm not interested. So like when there was a lot of talking, I'm like, shut up. And then like the monster popped up, I was like, nice.
So all the exposition is just whatever.
Just show me the creatures.
Yeah.
And then when we saw the shots of the Predators, I was like, oh, I'm okay. I liked it.
And in this trailer, we see Predator fight Predator.
Yeah.
Like, what is going on?
Yeah, it looks pretty interesting.
It seems like the humans are just caught in the crossfire kind of thing. Again, as we're accustomed to.
Yeah, pretty.
So we've gotten all those trailers within the last week. There's a couple more, but we don't have time to cover them. Here's a trailer that I am, sort of asking the question, when is it going to drop? It's the trailer for Aquaman.
Right, yeah.
Which is coming out at the end of this year.
Oh, wow, it's 6 months away.
Yeah, it's 6 months away. And we haven't seen anything. No promo art, nothing.
We've seen Jason Momoa.
Yeah, we've seen Jason Momoa in Justice League, but let's not talk about that. So James Wan has come out and addressed, the concerns. Okay. He tweeted out, I'm quoting his tweet, whispering, soon. He tweeted that out.
Someone should tell James Wan that he's not a good marketing person for his movies. Oof.
But
I hope Del minces beef better than he minces his words.
Are you still looking forward to the Aquaman
I don't know
movie?
how I feel given this bunch of DC EU news that came out the last couple of days.
Yeah, I mean it's all on the corporate side of things and the inner workings.
I don't know, man.
I am still excited because for me, anything from DC, no news is good news. So
I guess so.
So I still have hope for Aquaman because there's no news of Aquaman. So it
just might be good.
Yeah, it just
this
might be good. This
literally could be it after five attempts.
Yeah, I mean,
they got it right.
Because Wonder Woman didn't have much news, and Wonder
true.
Woman came out, and
that
it was
true.
good. So I don't want to hear any news from Aquaman. I don't even want to see any poster or trailer. I just want to go to cinema and it's like, what? Aquaman is on already? I'm buying the ticket. That's it.
I would like to quote Jason Momoa as Aquaman here and say, "You're out of your mind, Nikkei." Here's something that came out of the DCEU that it was kind of interesting to me. Jared Leto's Joker has been confirmed to star in a Suicide Squad spin-off movie. So, after all the controversy of how he was not happy with Suicide Squad and he shot hours and hours and hours of footage that was cut out of the movie, even going so far as him saying, so what was cut out of the movie? Well, what didn't they cut out? And things like that. He's back now. And it doesn't say in the article whether or not this was one of the art projects in the DCEU, like standalone films. But it says here it's a Suicide Squad spin-off. And this is alongside the Birds of Prey,
a Harley Quinn film, and the other...
Siren.
Yeah, so...
Well,
that is literally my reaction when I read the headline. DC Comics' Jared Leto's Joker is getting his own spin-off movie. I literally just sighed and I went, Whatever. Okay.
You're over it, right?
Yeah, like at this point, they are gonna highlight everybody but the main heroes who could hold this universe together.
Is this mentally exhausting you?
Yeah, no, okay, just to check this out, right? Like, do we really need a Jared Leto Joker movie? Or would we be better off with a second Man of Steel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You do have a point.
Like, do we really need 2 Harley Quinn movies? Or could we actually get a Green Lantern?
Or a Batman movie.
Or a Batman movie.
With
Or,
flag.
you know, fine. If you want to highlight parts of the DC universe that you think people will watch, don't copy-paste. Don't do one artsy Joker origin and then trash Joker. Don't do 2 Harley Quinns. If you have money to burn it on the right characters. That's what I feel.
Yeah.
I think this is a conspiracy theory of mine that because they
Thanks
wanted
for the disclaimer.
because they wanted Jared Leto for Suicide Squad 2, but in order to keep him happy, they are giving him a solo movie.
That could be true.
Yeah, 'cause-
I'm not doubting that.
Because Warner Brothers has done that to Joss Whedon, to put Batgirl on the table. And
They
then...
gave him Justice League.
That's a whole conspiracy theory that I don't want to get into.
Yeah.
All right. A couple of episodes ago, we talked about the upcoming James Bond movie, which will be the 25th in the series, starring Daniel Craig, reprising his role as the titular character James Bond. There is a rumor that Helena Bonham Carter could play the villain in the next movie.
I would buy that because she looks the part.
She looks the part, and she does have this crazy presence whenever
Yeah.
she's on the screen.
That's true. I would buy that.
Yeah, I'm for this news.
I'm in for her, but not for Daniel Craig.
I don't think we need any more James Bond movies from this generation. Like, I think Daniel Craig's story should have just ended. They could have gone with a new guy. I mean, this is an actor who has clearly expressed dissatisfaction with this role.
Yeah.
Here he is again.
Because money.
Yeah, like,
And he
okay.
wants to be the Bond on the 25th film.
Yeah.
I guess.
Ugh.
Let's all spite the internet trolls and give us a Jane Bond movie.
As long as they cast Daisy Ridley, I'll watch it.
Oh, they should
Yes.
cast Kelly Marie Tran and everyone.
There we go.
Yeah, like
Yeah, why
Here's
not?
a bit of news from the MCU. It's regarding Avengers Infinity War. And I'm not sure if you guys know this, but in China, there's only a certain number of Western movies that can come in. They have to be approved by the government, and there's a predefined runtime for these movies. Avengers Infinity War has received a very rare extended release in China. So they've been given another month to show this movie in China. I don't know, what does this mean? Is this the Chinese government sort of saying, yeah, we like these kinds of stories, and this is uplifting, or I don't know.
maybe they have some share in it.
No, I think it's Marvel just giving them a lot of money.
Really?
And I think it's a movie that's making so much money that the Chinese government cannot deny the fact that they're going to earn more from this film.
By allowing it to play for another month.
Yeah, because obviously they'll get something out of it, right?
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
like a tax or something.
local economy and whatnot.
Yeah, and
their
I
theaters
watched
are
it for
earning-
the 4th time the other day, and I still love this movie. I can't. I get it. I understand why the Chinese government's playing it for this long. I get it.
So you're happy with Avengers Infinity War?
I love it.
Okay, here's someone who's not happy. Well, not with Infinity War. Stan Lee, he has a warning for Thanos over the ending of Infinity War.
Really?
Now, like, it was a video that was sort of tweeted out, and it's sort of him acting to the camera saying, wow, I went on vacation and look what happened. Like, all these characters died. So if I were Thanos, I would pack up and leave town because I'm coming back and I'm going to sort this out.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
It was a joke, but, it's sort of like fans kind of like to see
Right,
it. That's why we love Stan Lee. Black Panther, apparently, Kevin Feige says, had one of the highest budgets in the MCU, even surpassing Captain America Civil War.
I would believe that because you had to costume an entire nation. If you think about it, just from the costume, you had to create an entire country. I would believe that, yeah.
You would?
I would.
So what would the budget be for Black Panther 2?
Lower. Because they can reuse a lot of things.
Yeah, a lot of the sets and
I guess
everything.
so. Maybe. And they've already established the universe, I guess.
Yeah.
Apparently, part of the reason why they dumped all this money into Black Panther is because they were sure that it was going to be a hit, and they wanted to break the stereotype that a movie with a black protagonist can do well in this movie space.
And it did.
And it did very well. Yeah.
It did about $1.5 billion, higher
About
than
there.
the Avengers.
Higher than the Avengers. No?
The first Avengers.
First Avengers, yes,
Yeah.
you're right. Benedict Cumberbatch, who is also involved in the MCU as Doctor Strange, someone that Dell would like to see more of in the MCU. He apparently is a real-life superhero because he saved a man from 4 muggers.
Wow.
He was in an Uber with his wife, and they were passing by this alleyway, and he saw this food delivery guy get beat up by 4 guys.
What?
And he jumped down with the Uber driver, and they fended off these 4 guys. So not just superhero.
This is like one of the most courageous things an actor has ever done. Because they live a sheltered life.
Yeah.
Think about it, right?
I guess so.
This reminds me of a story where Johnny Depp was leaving a hotel and somebody was gonna mug him, and he said, "Hey man, look, I'll give you my money, just like relax." And apparently the mugger went, "Oh no, you're Jack Sparrow." And he goes, "I'm not gonna mug Jack Sparrow, I'm gonna turn my life around."
What?
Yeah, so this happened like 10
No.
years ago. Yeah. I remember reading that and thinking, that's so outrageous. So apparently the
No.
mugger was just like, I can't believe I was about to rob Jack Sparrow. I'm going to turn my life around.
So he's like an entrepreneur and have his startup.
Turns out it's Elon Musk. Kidding.
Jeremy Renner, who plays Hawkeye in the MCU, and he's part of the Avengers. He's got a movie coming out later this year called Tag. Now, if you don't know, it's a movie about a bunch of friends, and this story is based on a real life group of friends who have played tag for like 30 years. They've been playing the same game of tag since their childhoods, and it surpasses funerals and weddings and all that, and the same group was still playing this game of tag for decades. Jeremy Renner is starring in this movie, and he broke his arms during the production earlier this year, which led a lot of speculation to believe that he broke his arms while shooting for Avengers Infinity War.
Right.
Which he wasn't
even in. Now we know. Because he broke his arms, and it's recently come out that he broke his arms in the first week of production of this movie, Tag, they had to paint his cast green all the way up to his shoulders.
Right, yeah.
And his arms will be digitally replaced.
No
for
way.
the entire movie.
No way.
I want to see it. I want to see if they do a better job at giving Jeremy Renner arms
Mustache.
than removing Henry Cavill's
I knew that.
mustache.
Can you imagine if the designer gets frustrated and just the arm goes rogue? Like he's just standing and the arm's dancing.
See, this kind of marketing worked on Kevin. He's gonna go watch the movie now.
I am. I actually want to see
note,
this.
James Wan.
Nobody needed a reason to watch the next Avengers movie.
No, this is for Tag.
This is
Tag,
Tag.
this is
Tag, yeah.
Tag. Yeah.
He broke his arms
During
on
the
a
production
comedy.
Yeah, but
movie
like,
set.
so they painted his arm for Tag or for
Tag.
For Tag.
Oh, right. I thought it was Infinity War. Okay.
For Tag.
He's not in Infinity War.
No, the
that's
second
why.
one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Dave Bautista, who we know as Drax from the Guardians of the Galaxy and now more recently Avengers Infinity War, he says he wants to star in the Gears of War film.
As Marcus Phoenix.
Marcus Phoenix.
Nice,
He
I see
looks
it.
like Marcus
I see
Phoenix. Have you played the game, Del?
Nope.
Nope.
No idea what you guys are talking
Yeah.
about.
It's a video game.
So I'm gonna
It's-
take
it's
a-
We'll
drink.
engage Del when somebody expresses interest in a Tetris movie.
I like Tetris.
Do you like it enough to watch a movie about Tetris?
About Tetris? If it turns out to be like Lego, sure.
What if it's like Battleship?
What if it's like, what if it's
Battleship?
like Battleship? Liam Neeson and,
Oh, that was
Rihanna.
bad. It was
Rihanna.
bad.
Taylor
It was
Swift.
bad only because of Rihanna.
No.
Anytime Rihanna comes on screen, it's bad. It's bad.
How can you be so sure?
I look so offended right now.
Wait, no, I'm not in for her as an actress. As a performer, yeah, because for Ocean 8, I am not very keen on her role in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you seen it though?
I saw the trailer, and then the scene with her, I'm like,
It's not
Rihanna.
out here, right?
It's not out.
I think
Yeah.
it's this week, isn't
Yeah,
it?
Tuesday.
Yeah.
It's out on Tuesday.
It's on
Tuesday.
Tuesday. So we may sneak it in and watch
Because
it.
her voice work in the Valerian was so bad.
I did not watch that.
I did not watch that.
Yeah. Anyway.
I went to watch Apes instead.
We talked about the Disney Fox deal where, Disney might be buying Fox over. Apparently we have some reports that deal may be in trouble because of Comcast's offer. Now, if you don't already know, Disney made a deal for the sum of $54 billion in cash and stocks to take over Fox. This includes their ownership of properties like the Fantastic Four and the X-Men, and it's something that we
Avatar.
as fans would like to see, to all be under one house so we could get more great movies, more great crossovers. But Comcast more recently has come back and exceeded Disney's bid for an all-cash bid of like $60 billion.
Right.
So more than what Disney's offering. And, we have some reports that Rupert Murdoch, who owns the Fox Group, is sort of, thinking about the shareholders at this point in time and saying, I will go for the best deal.
But you see, even if half of the Disney offer is in stock, Disney stocks are not going to go down anytime soon.
Yes. I mean, traditionally, Disney stocks, they don't falter, even if they have a flop.
Yeah. Because, for example, if they're worth X amount now, they'll be worth 2X in 10 years. So, for example, George Lucas was paid $2 billion cash, $2 billion stocks at Disney for the Lucasfilm buyout. That $2 billion in stock is easily worth $3 billion now, given the success of the very franchise he sold them. You know, so I feel like it's still the better deal. Disney can never
I think
go
he
wrong.
maybe is trying to get Disney to counter offer.
Yeah, that's how it is.
Could be.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. You know, of course, this is subject to government approval and whatnot. This is all, you know, politics, but, you know, we'll see what happens. Here's a franchise that could potentially go to Disney or Comcast because it's under Fox, The Expendables. And apparently Expendables 4 is happening and it's filming in 2019.
Wow.
Counter to what Sylvester Stallone has said, you know, I'm not coming back for another Expendables after the last one, which was quite critically panned, I guess. He's coming back, so...
I mean, he's making a fifth Rambo.
Yeah, I mean, who would have thought at... How old is he?
72.
72. He's gonna be shooting another Rambo movie.
I don't know. I would watch him even if he's 90.
Wow. Okay.
Dell's just sitting there going like, yeah, this kid.
No, I'm just thinking never say never in Hollywood.
Yeah, you really can't.
Yeah, that's true. Here's something that, you know, I sort of said I don't want to see a sequel, but I'm sort of, you know, coming to the opinion of, yeah, I'll watch it when it comes out. We talked about this. Tom Cruise is shooting Top Gun.
The Mummy too?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
the top...
I feel the need.
The need for speed. And this next individual also feels the need because he's coming back. It's confirmed. Iceman, Val Kilmer, joins the cast of the Top Gun sequel.
I'm so excited.
Really?
It's Tom Cruise. And Kenny Loggins is re-recording Danger Zone.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he said.
No. This is a real piece of it.
Really?
Yeah, he's gonna do the soundtrack.
He's re-recording the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Wow.
Danger Zone.
Okay, now I'm excited for it now. So text Kenny Loggins to get me excited for a Top Gun sequel.
I'm gonna preempt this whole thing and order my Ray-Ban aviators now.
Yeah. I'm enlisting for the Air Force.
Speaking of movies that I wasn't sure about and I didn't know I wanted, Godzilla. Now, there's a couple of iterations of Godzilla. We've got the Hollywood version, which is set to have its own universe. And there's also a Japanese version of this character. It's under Toho.
The originals.
Yeah. That chain of cinemas and production houses in Japan. End of last year, they had a Godzilla anime.
Netflix movie.
Yeah, it came to Netflix, but it was a nationwide release in Japan.
Oh, interesting.
They say that they're planning a Godzilla cinematic universe.
Of course.
Which will debut in 2021.
I love how ambitious film production studios are becoming. They're like, oh yeah, we have Avatar 10 planned, 2046. You know? Let's wait for the bubble to be over first, you know, before we make plans.
I don't know, the last anime film, which was on Netflix, I watched it and I was like, alright, it's a movie, and that's all I can say. I can't say it was very good.
I watched Resurgence, I think the one where he's a volcano.
Huh?
Godzilla is a volcano?
Yeah, the 2016 one. He was a volcano, and then I watched the anime, and I'm like, okay, I'll just wait for the Hollywood version.
There's something about the Toho version of Godzilla where it's mostly anime.
It is, yeah.
And it's very, you know, in that anime sort of pacing, you know, more importantly, where they place emphasis on him walking or him looking or...
Yeah.
Oh well, they don't have the action beats down, really. Okay, fine. Now we're going to move on to Star Wars, and more particularly Solo, a Star Wars story, which, you know, we sort of gave good reviews of, and we hope that
I've watched it 3 times now.
3 times. I watched it twice, and I still think it was good.
Yeah.
It's apparently going to lose Disney about $50 million.
At least.
Not too bad, considering.
That does not include marketing, though. That's strictly from production.
And and this is the first Star Wars / Lucasfilm property to actually lose money.
Yeah.
I guess it can. It's really not about the quality. So it's kind of tough because otherwise, you know, Lucasfilm can wake up from like not producing quality movies, but it is a quality movie.
It is a very.
Movie.
I think what it is, it's 2 things. One, a lot of people don't know where this takes place. We do. Like, the average person thought this was episode 9.
Sure.
And
a lot of people also had confusion with Rogue One.
Yeah,
Rogue One.
So I think it's a bit tough for people to digest movies that they don't know where it takes place chronologically.
And this is just the general public.
Yeah, and like if you think about it, even before the Disney acquisition, Star Wars was super confusing as it is.
Yeah.
Because it was 4, 5, 6, then 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
That's true. That is
So
very
it's
true.
just becoming more confusing. But it's a shame. I thought this was one of the most solid entries from the Disney Lucasfilm.
Yeah, and I can't wait to buy it on Blu-ray.
But then again, okay, when we talk about how much Disney is losing from this, it's also because of the reshoots and the change of directors, which Ron Howard came in and reshot the whole thing like 90%. So obviously the budget for it is gonna double for production. I don't see this as a loss. I see this as just a step backward from what they usually earn. Because this is still, I really love this movie. I'm gonna watch it for a third time as well before it gets taken down from the cinema.
Which is next week, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know.
All right. Here's something that is a shame. Last week, we mentioned very briefly that the spin-off of the Spider-Man universe, Silver and Black, was off the slate indefinitely. Apparently, it's getting rewritten, and they'll see whether or not they put it back on the slate.
I have no comment about the Sony Spider universe. I don't know what to say.
No?
Now, I'm gonna wait till Venom comes out.
Yeah.
Watch that first, see how good or bad it is.
Yeah,
And
apparently Venom is not going to be part of the MCU
No.
at all. It's in that Sony universe that they're trying to build.
which is fine, as long as they give us a good movie. But from what I've seen from the trailer, I can't tell.
It's not something that is pulling me to watch it.
No,
It's just a thing where you're like, all right.
All right, cool. See you around, Venom.
All right, we saved this last bit of news at the end because it is actually awesome. Now, we have had some conversations on this podcast about the James Cameron set of Terminator movies that are coming out. He is disregarding Terminator 3, Terminator Salvation, and Genesis, and he is coming up with a sequel to Terminator 2, right? So I'm excited about this because that means that we get back Linda Hamilton, and we've talked about the possibility of Eddie Furlong. But a leak has come out, and it shows the supposed actor that will be standing in for the character of John Connor. It's a younger looking guy. He kind of looks like a young Edward Furlong, and also the CGI stand-in body double for Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That news makes me so happy every time I read it.
Yeah, because apparently this is taking place right after T2.
Right after T2.
Judgment Day.
My
because
favorite
at
Terminator movie.
at the end of Terminator, they were going south.
End of Terminator
2.
1?
End of Terminator 2, they were driving south, right?
I don't know.
They were driving in one direction.
Yeah, so so apparently this story takes place in the south.
So like in Mexico?
Like Mexico / somewhere in South America.
Okay. Well, we don't have solid plot details, but I just remember the last closing shot of Terminator 2 was just a dark road.
Yeah.
And then that was it. And you hear narration from Linda Hamilton.
I'm still very skeptical as to how much James Cameron is actually involved in this, because he is like super busy with his Avatar movies.
Which is understandable. They're going to be masterpieces.
That was not where I thought you were going with it. But because he has no time for anything else, he's just putting his name on this, just hoping that people will watch it.
I hope he actually guides the universe. I mean, this next movie.
Yeah, I think he would, because he has to make up for endorsing Terminator Genesis.
That's also why I can't take him seriously now. And especially when he just goes mouthing off with like
Patty Jenkins and
this.
I had a feminine character first.
Yeah, he did that, didn't he?
Such a crybaby. I don't know what's wrong with this. It's just sad to see such a great director going down that route.
Oh well. But I personally am excited for, let's call it Terminator 2.5 for now. And I just want to see where this goes. Do they totally disregard, the movies that came after it, which I think they should, because
it'll be nice if they understand what happened and then they just do like a time travel thing that fixes it.
Like Day of Future Past thing.
But 10 times better, yes.
Reboot everything.
No! Nothing is better than Days of Future Past.
I can name you 10 movies after this.
Nope.
Yes.
Yes, you can, but I won't agree.
The Incredibles.
Nope.
Del disagrees.
Days of Future
emotionally.
Past.
All right.
Still the best.
So that's the news this week on the Wayang Crew Podcast. If you want to get in touch with us here on the show, you can do so via our Gmail account. That's thewayangcrew@gmail.com. We're also on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and you may be listening to us on our YouTube channel as well. Now we're going to talk about the movie that we will be discussing this week, which is Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom.
Dun, 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 dun.
Now, I was very excited about this movie. I'm a big fan of the franchise.
Yeah.
I love the previous movie, Jurassic World. But this movie, right off the bat, I have to say 50% fanboy service and 50% sort of like trying to explore where else they can go with the franchise.
Man, the thing is, this was number 2 on my most anticipated list. You know, and I have to say I was underwhelmed by it.
I walked out of the cinema and I was like, meh.
Because, you know, like the previous movie, I was literally at the edge of my seat the entire time. Like, I mean, I knew like the good guys would win, but still, the Indomie Rex was pretty crazy. But yeah, and the thing about this movie is it's half one story, it's half the other story. Like, it's half a Jurassic Park movie, but it's half a creature feature.
That's true. Yeah.
You know, I'm like, okay, all right, sure. I don't know, man. I don't know what to fully say, but all I can say that I like the opening. I love the opening.
Like the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, and then I think the politics of it just made me uninterested.
Okay. Del, what did you think of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom before we go into like, you know, full spoilers?
The first part on the island, the second part is back in the manor. Both parts had something to offer. The volcano erupting and then that trying to escape sequence, that was great. The one in the manor, I thought there are some elements of horror that was done well, but the payoff was not there or couldn't live up to the build up. So it's disappointing. And the characters are more like caricatures at this point than when they were introduced in the original movie.
Okay. Nikkei?
As compared to the first Jurassic World, I think every character are underdeveloped as compared to the first one.
Yep.
Like the first one, we sort of understood Chris Pratt characters, Jessica Chastain,
Bryce
Dallas Howard character, but like in this one, I don't feel anything about them. Like, were they even in a relationship or what? Like,
apparently so.
Like, I don't care.
Maybe it's a case where they were saying, you know, let's not focus so much on the human characters, but let's sort of maximize the dinosaur output on this movie. But it didn't show. It was
and the thing is, like, this was such a good potential, you know, like a volcano's erupting on the island. How awesome is that? But like,
which didn't look good, by the way.
CGI was a bit
so.
Yeah, and then and you know what? The more I say it, the sadder I become. This had Ian Malcolm.
Yeah.
This had Jeff Goldblum in one of his most famous roles, but
he was just there for narration, I guess.
Yeah,
just to set
what
the tone.
Waste.
Yeah, what a waste. Very quickly, just before we jump into spoilers, what did you think overall in like 2 words? Go see it or meh?
I would say still see it just to see the monsters. The dinosaurs.
Okay.
See it? With a question mark?
Question mark?
Whatever you want to do. See it, don't see it. Up to you.
Yeah. I say see it just for the sake of seeing it.
Yeah.
You don't have to rush to see it, but yeah. Anyway, now we're going to do like full spoilers for this movie.
Spoiler!
Alright, spoiler alert. If you don't want to know anything about Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, do skip ahead. We've got time codes down below. First off, this movie, there were a lot of things that were wrong with it in terms of like logic and being physically possible.
Wait a minute. You're talking about logic and physically possible at a movie that introduces you dinosaurs.
I must tell on this one.
Look, they do say that it has been 3 years since the events of Jurassic World where the park was shut down. How are those gyro ball thingies still working?
They
didn't work.
They did. It turned on.
Did it?
It
was
No,
just rolling.
It was just rolling. No,
Just
Del's
roll
right.
downhill.
Del's right.
Just roll down.
Okay.
I was still awake at that point.
Because I thought, wait, that thing got battery.
No, Del's right. They were just tumbling in it. Yeah.
Okay.
My question is, what did the dinosaurs eat?
Each other.
And plants and...
Plants still grew, and we saw the Diplodocus ate a leaf from a tree.
What did the Mosasaurus eat for 3 years?
That's why.
In that tank.
He can jump out and catch dinosaurs like so what he did to the...
In the first movie?
Yeah.
But
He did like a free wheelie thing and grabbed something
No, now I cannot unsee that.
okay, let's talk a bit more about the characters. Chris Pratt's character, Owen.
I don't think Chris Pratt's even trying at this point.
He's not trying anymore. It felt like he wasn't like fully committed to this role.
It's a paycheck.
It's a paycheck to him. I did not buy his motivations at all in this movie.
I mean, I like the moment between him and Blue.
Yes.
Like, okay, so I liked Blue in this movie. And I felt super sad at the end. Spoiler, when Blue left. But I'm like, yeah, this is basically Planet of the Apes. You know? He's James Franco. That's Caesar.
Yeah, Caesar.
Oh, how sad. Like,
it's like, come back with us.
Yeah.
And then turn around and run.
And he'll like,
and
Blue, home.
One of the things that I called from the beginning was that the little girl is a clone.
Yeah.
What? You saw that?
I called it. I was like, she's the clone of the mom. The people are watching it, they're like, that makes no sense. And then at the end, when it turns out that she's a clone, and the throwaway was so bad, it's like a stiff accountant actor going like, she's a clone. And then my friends were like, that was bad. What's with the accountant plot? Rocky did it in Rocky 5. Come on.
But she's not a clone of the mom. She's a clone of the daughter.
Her own mom, as in who she was believed to be the mom. You know, like
she
lived her life to believing
she
herself.
believed that her parents died in a car crash.
So as in So what I'm trying to say is
because I'm also trying to get this clarified because I don't really know.
You're right. So what I refer to the daughter is who she grew up believing to be her mom.
No, as in she's the clone of herself.
Yes.
Who that died. with the mom.
No,
right?
no.
Because there's a mother-daughter that died in the car crash.
No.
I'm confused.
That's all the story.
They made up a story that her mother died with her in a crash, but she survived. But in actual fact, she is the mother.
She's the clone of the mother.
She's the daughter.
Mother.
She is
the clone of Lockwood's daughter.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
There
it is.
Because of the age, so they have to say that she's the grandchild.
Okay, so what is that picture with the other lady?
That's
the maid when she was younger.
The maid.
The nanny who took care of Lockwood's daughter.
Right.
So she took care of the clone her.
I'm caught up.
Okay, so
that's what I fell asleep then.
Okay, the listeners might get a bit confused. What we're talking about is one of the it's the girl you see in the trailers for this movie, the one in the manor where the Indoraptor is
the
coming.
Indonesian raptor.
The Indonesian or Indomie raptor, whichever you wanna to label it. She is actually a clone, and the story behind that is that Lockwood and Hammond had a disagreement, and the only way they could make it right was for Hammond to say, "We'll clone your dead daughter and give you a new one." Apparently, that was it.
Okay, so my memory of the first two Jurassic Parks are not that good. Was Lockwood mentioned in those?
No.
Yeah, so he's a new character, right?
But
I think Lockwood is a character from the books. If I'm not mistaken.
And he's actually a partner of InGen.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. He's one of the founding members of InGen, I think, because Hammond did not do this alone. He had shareholders and all that.
Yeah, I just assume he was in the background. Yes, but they never mentioned him by name, right?
No.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
They never mentioned Lockwood by name.
I don't know. And so that was the problem. And then I'm like, the accountant, he looks like a jerk.
Yeah.
So how does nobody realize he's the bad guy?
Well, I knew he was a bad guy because of the way he was acting.
No, I mean the people in that world. How can... Oh, and how naive could Bryce Dallas Howard's character be?
Well, she's an optimist and she's an activist. So, you play to their wants and their needs. Anyway... What I did not really like about this movie is that it sort of took the actual beat for beat of the Lost World.
Almost, yeah.
Almost.
Yeah.
It was, go in there, capture dinosaurs, and, it was maybe for a different purpose, but ultimately it was the same thing, show it off or
also the
auction it.
Lava underground, the bunker scene, when there was that dinosaur and it was Bryce Dallas Howard's character and that tech guy.
Yeah.
How were they not sweating or thrown away because of lava literally a few feet away?
Right.
Well... The
Chris Pratt also didn't.
What was that? I was like, what? Okay, sure. Is this small things that made me go like, this does not feel like a Jurassic Park movie.
It doesn't. It really doesn't.
Because of the lava?
No, because of Chris Pratt suddenly fighting paralysis. You know what I mean?
Right. I didn't like the kids, the tech guy and the other girl.
Yeah, that was
the
not
doctor.
needed.
So their characters are annoying, or it was their acting.
They were very hollow.
Annoying.
They were hollow.
Yeah.
It's like somebody watched How to Not Write a Nerd 101.
Right.
And the guy has he doesn't like to fly. It's so typical. He could be somebody in any movie. Okay.
It's such a cliche caricature characters.
Yeah. And one of the saddest parts of the film was when the Brachiosaurus or the Brontosaurus died on the port.
Oh yeah.
You know,
That was
right.
the only.
that was so sad. I was like,
I couldn't feel anything. I thought I was dead. I saw that scene, and I know this is supposed to be an emotional scene. Like, if it was my pet dying, I would cry, but I couldn't feel anything because the story didn't make me feel. For any characters, for the dinosaurs, even for Blue, I couldn't care less if Blue died at the end.
Yeah. You didn't feel that connection between
not
Chris
like the
Pratt's
first
character.
movie. Yeah.
my favorite character was the dinosaur that just headbutts everything.
Me too. It feels like a Pokemon.
Yeah, it's like tuck, 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 tuck.
You see, the thing is, that dinosaur is also a dinosaur that was in The Lost World.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, to me, this was a beat for beat kind of movie. I was like, wow, you guys are totally recycling The Lost World.
That makes sense.
Where are the Force Awakens haters that said it's a rehash? Where are they for this movie?
Dell's going to war with anti-Star Wars fans.
So who did it better? Huh? The first sequel or this sequel? I don't remember. Like the first Jurassic Park,
As in
Lost
the
World,
Lost World,
or Hidden. Wait, what's this?
Fallen Kingdom. I
Whatever
think
it
Lost
was.
World.
Lost World did it
Lost
better.
World?
You know,
Okay.
and Lost World is not really one of my favorite films in this franchise, but I think it did better than Fallen
I
Kingdom.
thought Lost World was actually pretty good.
I think I'll revisit Lost World.
And I think I felt cheated because, so naturally, being a kid who grew up on Jurassic Park, I'm a huge fan of the T-Rex. So every time the T-Rex pops up, I start smiling. So when they were fighting the Indomie Raptor on the... I'm calling it that.
Just to clarify, we know it's Indoraptor. Please don't send us a message saying why you keep calling it Indomie Raptor.
Why is it called Indoraptor anyway?
It's
Because
Indominus. It's part of the
Indominus,
species.
Yeah. So
It's a splice of the Indominus Rex and more raptor.
Why call it
DNA.
Indominus Rex in the first place? There must be something that links that Indo.
well, they probably took some Indonesian genetics into it.
No,
And
I was being
also
serious.
it's
Because Dr. Henry Wu is actually Indonesian.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm forgetting my train of thought.
Yeah, you go.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
What was
Sorry.
my train of thought?
You were talking about why the Indomie
Right.
Raptor.
So I wanted, like, the T-Rex is literally the king of the dinosaurs, right?
Yeah.
So when when Indomie Raptor was on the roof and Blue was the only one fighting it, I didn't believe it. I really thought, why is the T-Rex not in the scene?
Right.
Why is the T-Rex not kind of just laying it, laying the smackdown?
Be the hero, yeah.
Yeah, because in the last movie, when the opening closure number 9, my jaw was on the floor because the T-Rex came back in the fight.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you have the T-Rex right there. I can't believe Blue himself would fight.
Because it's a raptor versus raptor
I
situation.
don't know, but the Indomie Raptor was 5 times bigger than Blue.
No, twice.
2 or 3 times
only,
bigger.
lah.
Three, at least three.
No, and the thing is, the final confrontation between Blue and the Indomie Raptor, as you call it, was on like a roof structure. So the T-Rex would not have gotten up there because
No, I was hoping the T-Rex would come from downstairs and just bite. Again.
Like the.
Like the Mosasaurus. Again.
That's also a problem, that sequence when they were on the roof and then Bryce pointed the infrared at Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
How do they know what to do, those two idiots? How did Chris Pratt communicate it to Bryce that, okay, you pointed at me, I'm gonna run
I
towards
think
it,
he
you
just
click.
trusted her to do the right thing.
What?
He just trusted her to do the right thing.
Kill Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
my favorite part of this movie, Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom, has got nothing to do with any of the dinosaurs. It's when they have that scene in that museum place, and then
The girl was hiding.
The girl was hiding up in her room, and Bryce Dallas Howard character's Claire was injured, and you have Owen like, oh no, I'll stay with you. And she's like, no,
right.
go help her, like save the girl. And
then
he's like,
and then
no.
they kissed.
And then they kissed, and he went, yeah, like it's like power of love.
Yeah. I remember that part.
This movie, okay.
The more we talk about this, the more I see the
know.
holes.
The more we sink into this oblivious thing, I have to apologize on behalf of us, the panel this week. We may sound a little bit like we're ranting about this movie, and it's because
we really wanted to like it.
we really wanted to like it, and all of us, 4 of us here today, feel like this movie let us down. Like we had so much hope because of the trailers and the potential plot of this. And
I thought that part where they took the T-Rex's blood was super clunky.
Yes.
You know how he just kind of escaped the T-Rex's jaws, like what?
I don't even know what he was doing there. Like he was holding something up.
He was taking.
What was he doing?
He was taking blood.
No, before that.
What?
He was with the T-Rex, right?
Yep.
And he was saying, you have to Bryce that you have to climb up and take the blood because I can't do anything.
He had to climb the neck so the vein was exposed.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. See, I'm so confused.
Because he, the skin's really thick, so he can't do it alone.
Right.
So, yes, in this movie, believe it or not, they give a raptor a blood transfusion from blood taken from the T-Rex. Where is this franchise going?
More hybrids.
If it's any salvation for this franchise, it's the fact that Colin Trevorrow has come out and said that
He'll direct Part 3.
For the next Jurassic World Part 3 movie, there will be no genetic splicing.
Yeah.
There will be no hybrid dinosaurs. It will be a return to, basics, in terms of the franchise. And yeah, I'm for that after seeing this movie. Sure.
Whatever.
Yeah, so let's give our ratings for Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Let's start with Del.
Yeah, I don't like these hybrid dinosaurs. I'm gonna give this a 5 raptor teeth out of 10.
Okay, Nikkei?
That's pretty high. I'm giving 2 clone babies.
2?
Yeah.
Wow.
Out of 10.
That is 2 out of 10.
Yeah, I just shut my brain and after I walk out, I just
Me?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give this movie, I'm sorry to say this, but a 4
out of 10.
4 raptors out of 10.
Wow. Wow, really?
I think I built this movie too much.
Yeah. Well, between all of us, you're the bigger Jurassic Park fan.
Yeah.
That's pretty obvious. I will actually give it 7 T-Rexes out of 10.
Wow.
Because
7 T-Rexes. That's where I'm getting the wow. No, go ahead. Sorry.
Because at the end of the day, there were still some parts that made me go nice. Like there were still some parts that I went nice.
Mm-hmm.
So if I count the number of times I said nice, I think it was 7.
Okay. So it was 7.
7.
I stand by my score because I hold the original, 2 movies, Jurassic Park and The Lost World, sort of, near and dear. And these are movies that I've watched, if I had to guess, I would have watched Jurassic Park maybe about 100 times in my lifetime. And to see them attempt to sort of do a second Lost World was just, to me, it was a cop-out. It was like, really? This is the best you can come up with?
Especially after the high point of Jurassic World.
You're right, and Jurassic World, in my opinion, was actually a good sort of revisit of the franchise. Yeah. And they just failed in this second one, to me at least. But that doesn't stop me from saying go and watch it.
Yeah.
It is overall an okay movie, I guess, to pass the time if you have 2 hours to spare. And there are some jump scares, but not very much. And it's a little bit hard to believe some of the things in this movie that take place. The motivations are not very clear for some of the characters, and overall, it's just a movie. That's the best I can say. It's not great. So, if they do want to check it out, where should they check it out?
Time Cineplex.
Yep, the best Cineplex to watch it in Brunei. So, yep, that's our review of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, which takes us to our next bit of the show, which is...
Oi, apa lihat-lihat? Apa lihat-lihat? Hoi, kan semua kan? Apa lihat-lihat? Apa lihat-lihat?
你看什么看?
Apa lihat-lihat? See what see? 笑了.
Yep, that's right. It's called Apa Liat, which is what else we've been watching besides Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Del, see what? What's it see?
No, it's see what?
Okay, see what?
I saw Love, Simon, that coming of age movie.
Which one is that? Love, Simon?
Jennifer Garner and...
So it's this kid who has not come out of the closet, and he in his school there are some bullies there bullying other kids with the same problem, and then there's another kid who's trying to come out. So it's a really nice coming of age movie that caught me by surprise because I saw the trailers. I was not interested in it until I saw the reviews for it were great, and then I went and watched it, and I thought, it's a really nice movie about high school and bullies and being who you are, and it ended up being one of the better young adult movies.
Okay, so it's like a feel good kind kind of movie?
A little bit, yes.
Okay.
Yes, a little bit of feel good and just really a movie about owning yourself.
Oh, so
it's like a positive kind of message.
Uplifting kind of thing. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Nikkei, what's he see? Apa lihat?
I watched a classic, Rebel Without a Cause.
Nice.
James Dean.
Yeah.
Nice.
And watching this after watching The Room from Tommy Wiseau, you can see that he took so much inspiration from that movie.
Okay.
Yeah, that was
He
like,
did.
yeah. But the movie itself, like Natalie Woods and James Dean, I don't see that it is that great of a movie that everyone say it is because of the way the story goes.
So it doesn't hold up in terms of storytelling, maybe.
Yeah. Or maybe it's not timeless. But because James Dean was like the Hollywood guy and he only had so few movies before he passed. So Rebel is one of them, and Natalie Woods was like a child star going into like adult movie. So it was like a big thing for her. But I don't know, I was a bit disappointed because of all like how they say it's classic, history is timeless. Yeah, but overall,
So it's been unnecessarily built up.
Yeah.
And then you watch it for yourself, you're like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Kai, what have you been watching?
Unfortunately have not been able to watch anything new except I've just been rewatching like Solo, Avengers, and stuff like that in the cinema. Mostly because I'm preparing for Haraya. So
And because Kai is like a man of our time, so
I will not apologize for watching Solo 3 times.
I'm not saying anything about it. I'm just
I
saying. All right. I very recently, yesterday, checked out the first Incredibles movie. This is to prepare myself for the upcoming Incredibles 2, which we'll be talking about next week on the next episode of the podcast. And after 14 years, it still holds up.
Yeah.
It's still a good film. I actually teared up towards the end of the movie when Mr. Incredible says, I'm not strong enough. And then you've got Helen Parr, Elastigirl, saying, what? You don't have to be strong enough. This is not about strength. And then he goes, I can't lose you again. I'm not strong enough. And I thought, this movie had so much heart.
Yeah.
I forgot about that part. And it caught me by surprise. But it's still thoroughly enjoyable, and I can't wait for the next.
Jack still gets me every time.
He still gets me. And we'll see what happens on the next movie, which, if the online publications are to be believed, is overwhelmingly positive.
Oh, yes, I hope so.
Some say even better than the first.
What?
Yeah, so we'll
Really?
see. Check out what we think next.
Kai is so uninterested.
Do you want me to feign interest though?
No,
Will that make you happier?
No, not at all.
It's fine. So do check us out next week on the next episode of the Wayang Crew Podcast, where we will be talking about Incredibles 2, the long-awaited sequel to 2004's The Incredibles. 14 years after the original, we finally get a sequel. Anyway, this is Kev signing off for the Wayang Crew. I'd like to thank my co-host for joining me on this show. Thanks to Del, Nikkei, and Kai. We'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.
Bye-bye.